What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's pinball tournament video. Today we'll be talking about the one ball challenge we had on System Shock, and then we will actually be going back to Pinball FX like we were talking about, but we're not going to go to the Williams tables just yet. And that's because, as you know, the Princess Bride table came out along with the Goat Simulator table. So what I want to do is have tournaments on those two tables. Especially, I think a lot of people like to play new tables when they first come out, and I think it's a good way of kind of getting to experience them and explore them a little more in a tournament setting. So after that, we will definitely be going back to the Williams. And on that point, as you know, some more Williams tables, we'll probably get more news from Zen Studios about the Williams tables they've been working on. So definitely Williams is on the horizon. It's just that I completely forgot about these two new tables that we just got last week. So I wanted to do them because I know a lot of people like to play the new tables. I also enjoy that, especially when they come out. So I figured let's get that out of the way. But for this video, I want to talk about System Shock and the one ball challenge we had with it. So, you know, this will be the last Pinball M we do for a while. We'll be going back to Pinball FX, which I'm excited about because I think, you know, Pinball FX is a really good game, and it has, you know, a large set of tables that we can play our challenges. So there's a lot to do on there. But I will say it has been great going back to Pinball M and revisiting it because, as you know, Pinball M, the tables themselves are a lot different in a lot of ways. They're a little more, like, of course, mature, and they definitely have their own feel than the Pinball FX tables. And then there's some modes that are unique to Pinball M that aren't on Pinball FX. I think it's like the Shiver Challenge and the Dread Challenge. So there's a few things that I like about Pinball M. And, you know, it felt good to play all the tables again because for a while I was only playing Pinball FX. But let's dive in and let's talk about this one ball challenge on System Shock. So previously, we had played the 5-minute challenge on it, which was like 2 months ago, and I wrote down in my notes that the 5-minute challenge experience on this table and comparing it with the one ball challenge was still very different. You know, they're the same table, but the experience and some of the rules felt different. Like, I think you know, with one ball challenge on this table, you can take your time and kind of explore the table itself. Whereas with the 5-minute, you don't really have all that time. You just have to find like momentum and kind of in a 5-minute, you have to find fast ways to score with the allotted time, right? And the one ball challenge, you can still do that, but you can take your time. You can aim your shots. You can find your own rhythm, right? So one of the things that I wrote down in my notes that I think is really important to talk about in pinball is what I call the discovery phase of pinball. So anytime you play a table for the first time, or when you play a table many times, I think you'll always be discovering something new. So the first time I play a table, it's me getting a feel for the table, kind of understanding, you know, what I like, what I don't like about it, and, you know, how difficult it is. So it's just getting a feel for the table. And then as you get a feel for the table, then I think you start going deeper into the specifics. So you kind of understand, okay, what do I have to do to get my bonus multiplier up? What happens when I lock, you know, a ball there, you know, that kind of thing. And so there's this kind of progression, and but I think when you talk about the discovery phase of pinball, I think something that is important to realize is that pinball is meant to be experienced and played instead of taught. So, you know, you can watch a lot of videos on how to get better and, you know, strategies, but I think that's only one part of the solution. I think pinball experiencing pinball and playing it are really the true essence of pinball. And I think further on that point is that when I played real pinball for the first time last summer, that was me experiencing, pinball in its, its truest form. I'm not saying that digital pinball is not pinball, but real pinball, definitely has a different feel to it. And it's, the experience of playing a real table was really beneficial for me because I hadn't done it in so long, and it just gives you such an appreciation for pinball itself. So that's something that I wrote down this week playing this one ball challenge. It's just, there's a discovery phase, right, in pinball. When you're learning something new or you're playing a new game or a new table, you're always going to be discovering something. And even if you've played a table a lot of times, like I did with System Shock, the more I played it, the more I saw things on the table that I didn't really notice before. And the more I played it, the more I was able to learn things. And the more I learned things, the more I had fun playing it. So one of the things that I was having trouble doing was the skill shot. I didn't understand exactly what the skill shot was. And after playing a few times, I finally got the hang of it. I finally saw what it was. And on this table, you have that Saturn planet there. And there's like a little, spaceship orbiting it. So when the game starts, you have to wait for that spaceship to settle. And then you hit the shot. And the kind of skill shot that this table has is all about, how hard you're hitting the plunger, how hard you're pulling it. So if you hit it with enough strength, you want to hit where that white slice on the Saturn is. And so this table had a very difficult skill shot, but it felt really good to actually learn what it was and to hit a few. I made a couple skill shots, and it awarded, I think, 1,000,000 points. And then on top of that, you had a super skill shot that you could make by hitting the right orbit. So this was a table that you could score a lot of points very fast if you could just make those things, those skill shot plus a super skill shot. But, it wasn't always easy to do. Sometimes I'd make the skill shot and, for the next 3 attempts, I wouldn't make it. Sometimes I would make the skill shot and the super skill shot, and I would have a lot of points. So this was a table where I think the reason why it was sort of frustrating and enjoyable was that you could get a lot of points really fast and, build up your score that way. I think for a one ball challenge, this table was really solid because I found out that there was many ways to score points, whereas other tables, not only to score points, but it was relatively, easy to keep the ball in play compared to the other tables like the Thing, where it was very difficult to keep the ball in play and to find ways to score points. But on this table, you could hit that left orbit, get points from hitting the bumpers, the right orbit, and I think one of the biggest parts about this table and the fun of it was the spiral ramp. So the spiral ramp it's a huge mechanic on this table because you have to hit it on the second level, you have to hit the spinning disc with pegs to open up the lock, and then on the third level is what you use to get to that mini game, which I finally got to. After so many attempts, I finally was able to get to the top of the spiral, and it led me to this, little mini game where you hit these two robots, almost like a mini brick breaker type game. And so by doing that, you get 1,000,000 points, and after that, the extra ball was immediately activated in the scoop for 5,000,000. So when you think about this table, there's many ways to get a lot of points very fast. So, for example, if you hit the skill shot, you make the super skill shot, and then you hit the ramp all the way to the top, you get that 1,000,000 from completing the little mini game, and then you just have to hit the scoop for that 5,000,000, which is what the extra ball's worth on the one ball. So it was so fun and frustrating at the same time, because I realized if I could just do those simple things consistently, I could be, scoring all those points, and my leaderboard score would be a lot better than it was. But that's the whole thing, is that it's hard to be consistent in pinball. Even you could play a lot, you could practice a lot, but it's, that consistency is really very tough to get a master of. But this table was, design wise, with a magnet in the middle, I thought was really cool design for a table. I've never really played a table that has a magnet like that kind of slows the ball down and puts it in place where you can aim for that spiral ramp. But this table seemed like it was also, that you had to get the multi-ball, because the multi-ball would award a lot of points. So once you lock the 3 balls in, you get that multi-ball in the scoop and the spiral. Then you got to spin it again. And then each time you lock a ball, you can do another skill shot. So, that's a lot of points we're talking about. And if you weren't able to make the skill shot, and if you weren't able to get the multi-ball going, that's a lot of points that you were kind of missing. So this table seems like it's one of those tables where you kind of have to do things. You kind of have to make some shots and build up your score and hope that, that you can get the multi-ball jackpot. Another thing that I wrote down in my notes is that there's a feeling of progression in pinball that I think makes pinball so fun. And when you start feeling like you're scoring more points, when you feel like you're getting extra balls, when you feel like you're completing modes, when you're building up your bonus, that is what makes pinball very addictive, in my opinion. And it kind of makes you feel like you're a pinball wizard, right? Because mode completed, you've gotten to wizard mode, you've done this, you've done that, you've completed this mode, you've activated the multi-ball, you got your jackpot. So I think that's something that you want to think about when you're playing pinball, is the feeling of progression, right? And when you flip the coin, when you're not feeling that progress, when you're draining the ball all the time, when it's hard to keep the ball in play and you're not scoring points, it's almost the complete opposite, where you feel like you're regressing almost, right? And so I think the thing that I took away from this week's challenge was, as you play tournaments or as you play pinball in general, you don't want to force yourself. If you play enough attempts and you're getting tired and you're not making any progress, I think you need to know when it's best to just stop, right? Because there'll be times when you just want to keep playing because you're enjoying it, and that's fine. But I think there's a point where you just you're just so frustrated or tired where it's best to step away. And I kind of realized that, and I think in life in general, not just pinball, it's something that I think is important, because when you put your heart into it, when you put your soul, that's when you do best. But when you start forcing things, it could work, but it's not always going to be the best. And I don't think it's the best system. So thank you once again, everyone, for participating in this open challenge this week. And let's go over the scores. So first place, I want to say too that I was looking at the leaderboard and it did kind of shuffle a little bit. And I want to say too, before I go, is that these one ball challenges are very difficult. So when I got in first place last week, it felt great. And so I think this, it takes a lot of work and a lot of skill. So I want to give a first place shout out to UTD 4000 with 64 million points on this table. Congratulations to UTD 4000 for that first place spot. And in second place under him, we have Tutti de Leon with 46 million to take it in second. And underneath him, we have Lead Diamond 1097 with 45 million points. Very close score here. 1 million points apart. And in fourth place, we have Bad Jack Daniels with 29 million points. So Bad Jack Daniels taking that top four. And underneath Bad Jack, we have Dracky Barks with 21 million points in 5th. And I was looking at Dracky Barks' score, and Dracky Barks, I think he went from 17 million to 21 million. So it was nice to see that progress there. And I took 6th place with 16 million. I really tried to beat my previous. I got close one time to beating it, where I had gotten like 10 million points, and then all I needed to do was get one jackpot from the multi-ball, and I couldn't get it because I was nervous. Going down here, I'm not familiar with those two names, so I'm going to go to 9th place, Geronimo Game with 4 million points. Congratulations to Geronimo for making the top 10. And shout out to Geronimo. I've been talking to him about movies, 80s, 90s movies. Yeah, it's been really cool getting to know him. Going down here, in 14th place, we have Shaitan Fu with 1 million points. And I believe that's everyone that I know from the Open Tournament. So thank you once again. I hope you guys enjoyed Pinball M and the One Ball Challenge. We will be moving on now to the One Ball Challenge on Princess Bride on Pinball FX. So meet me over there and let's get going. Alright guys, welcome back. So we're on Pinball FX now. We're going to do a One Ball Challenge on the Princess Bride table. I've set it to public only because I think it's a popular table, so we'll get a little more competition going, and it's new. It's the One Ball Challenge, like we've been doing. Realistic physics here, unlimited players, unlimited attempts, and 6 days as per usual. So let's create it here. And let's see the ID here for the challenge here. So here it is. It's J19G. This will be included in the description below of this video. J19G. And let's give it a go here. So I also want to say that I actually watched this movie because a lot of you guys have been telling me about it. And so I thought it was pretty good. I thought it held up well. I liked seeing Fred Savage, and of course I enjoyed seeing Andre the Giant. But it was a little bit hard to hear what he was saying in the movie. But my two favorite scenes were when Wesley was fighting Andre the Giant, and then the goblet scene with the poison, and Vizzini, the Sicilian guy. I mean, that part was just like, mind twisting, and just like, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Inconceivable! It's funny how we said that a lot, and of course, As You Wish. But just a good fairy tale from the 80s. And now, having seen the movie, I really appreciate everything. The toys, the castle looks just like it did in the movie. I understand the scenes now. And one thing I want to say before I start, I think that this movie was very funny, and it did have that romantic element. And even though, I don't think it was kind of like cheesy, but it also kind of worked, which I thought was interesting. So let's go here. This is not a pinball in a movie, but I just wanted to mention that. So we have the skill shot. We have to hit the pop bumpers. Oh, it's still too hard. Okay, wow. Oh my gosh. Also, something, quick fact, they asked Andre the Giant, they asked Andre the Giant what he liked most about filming this movie, and he said that a lot of the cast members didn't look at him weird because he's so big. They looked at him like a human. So that was a really bad. Okay, but Come on now. Still too much power? Oh my gosh. Okay, I like that shot right there. That's where the super skill shot. Okay. No way! Okay, this might be a difficult table for a one-wall challenge. I don't know right now. I also like the room that the grandpa was reading the story in. In the movie, I was kind of looking at all like the toys he had in there, posters, because he opens up the movie opens up where Fred Savage is playing the Atari, I think, right? Is it the Atari? And then the rhyme, spelling rhyme on the ramp, I think, isn't that because, what's his name? Andre the Giant was rhyming or something? Also, shout out to Billy Crystal. That was kind of like an interesting scene. I know Billy Crystal's voice from anywhere. Come on now. No! Wow, this is actually... Oh yeah, there's the dude with the 6 fingers. Okay, so this is... I love a good challenge, but... That skill shot, though, was a little tough.
I don't have to miss.
Oh, I was looking at the score display.
The rope. And he's gaining on us.
And you're no match for my brain.
I love that scene.
By all means, keep moving forward.
Oh, come on. Spin the disc 4 more times.
Swear on the soul of my father, Domingo Montoya. You will reach the top alive.
Oh no, come on! Oh, this table's kind of addicting though. Like, I can't believe I'm not even scoring. I don't know if when I made the release video, if that was normal physics or realistic. Because this is realistic physics.
I did that on purpose. I don't have to miss.
Inconceivable.
There's the inconceivable.
I can't compete with you physically. And you're no match for my brain. We're close.
At least there's a little bit of a ball save.
I knew you were bluffing. I knew he was bluffing.
Oh no. It's a little drop target there. Okay. Increase my tournament score. That's a good sign, right?
Steps and we'll be safe in the prize.
Oh no. 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 That ramp is blinking. Oh, the fire swamp scene. That was great. I remember the fire swamp scene fighting that big rodent. That was pretty intense too. Okay, fire swamp.
Dread pirate robbers, admit it.
Yes, I'm wrong. I'm never wrong. Headed dead into the fires.
Aim for flashing. Okay, so green flashing. Oh no! I wanted to hit the green flashing.
When death is on the line.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay. Well guys, thank you for watching me play this week's tournament on Princess Bride. Again, my apologies because I know I said we were going to do Williams, but whenever new tables come out, I always like to, do tournaments on them because they're new and just to familiarize myself with them. But we'll definitely be going back to Williams, especially now that we're on Pinball FX. So